everyone. Can I? Let me think. Hello everyone. I'm joined today by two beautiful ladies, Michelle and TJ. Hello ladies.
Hello.
And our guest today is the African Kevin, the Magic King. Again, he's again with us.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good.
You okay?
Great.
The
Awesome. The king always strong enough to defend his people. So if we're not strong, your people will be weak.
For sure.
Yeah.
We're gonna start today. I know that we are king. You are king for sure. But we're gonna start today about a question for ladies, around ladies. I'm gonna say.
Okay.
And my question is a question for you as a king. I know that you are a queen, and this is a lady. And here it's time for lady to be empowered in this country and all over the world. I'm gonna say. And I have a small tricky question about this country where we are not able to have a woman to have the power. For you, why is it not possible today to have a woman as a president?
That's a beautiful question. In America, I think people haven't studied how the country say in God they trust. And then we read a lot of books. Bible is also a book, just like you're reading science as a book. But in the Bible, he said he created a man in his image. Therefore, he is a man. And then he created a man before he created a woman from a man. So if a man wants somebody to succeed or take over his kingdom, I think it's not going to take the third person, but it's going to take the immediate person behind him for him to take the kingdom for him. That is why. But one thing I would say in America here, Donald Trump, the president that he is right now, people were thinking Hillary gonna win,
Of course.
but Hillary didn't win because God knew Trump already before Hillary came.
Do you think that is about God, seriously? Just God? Because, she's supposed to win this election. We are agreed that, on that topic. We are not going to do politics because...
This is not politics, but
she's supposed to win this
into
election. But something happened, we are not going to get inside. Something happened, she lost, and Donald Trump is at the power. But my question is more that why we are not ready to have a woman in the country? We are not.
The reason deep down, the reason is in this country, people think if it was a human perspective, they would have voted for Hillary Clinton. But it is not the woman beings who are doing it. They are doing it spiritually. Donald Trump was selected before he was elected.
Okay.
What do you think about these ladies? TJ?
Well, from what he just said,
Yeah, around this question about women on the top of this country.
I think it's something that have to look at the person who is going to be elected, number one. The background, things like that, because in this country we're very sensitive with the image of the person. Because I remember Palin, is that her name? The lady from Alaska. I think she was getting close to, I think Hillary is the closest that we've ever had. And I know she seemed to be a good candidate for her own professional background, but her family issues were now being put in the spotlight more than what she actually can achieve if she had been in that position. So I think there's this pressure that comes with being a woman, where we think we as a society is like, she should be like this, she should be like that. Your home shouldn't be falling apart while you're trying to be in power, because if you can do this in your home, then you're gonna do this with the country or with the state's governor, senator, all those positions in politics. I think those are things that we are still taking into consideration as a society. So I don't want to say what's right or what's wrong. I think that's just what I have observed from from times past. So I think that's why.
And well, I feel like also adding to what we've said, it's with, for example, with Sarah Palin, like if your home is falling apart, then what people are going to think is you can't even run your home. How are you going to run a whole country?
Exactly.
But I really believe personally that it is time for a woman president. I think it's time for like a change. Now the problem is, as a people, are we ready for the change? Are we ready to be ruled, and how do I say, like for example, America is supposed to be the most strongest and most powerful nation in the world. Now, with that being said, most of the time when you think of power and somebody running something, you think of a man. So even for the people that are saying we're ready for a female president, are we really ready to have a woman in power who is going to set the tone and basically tell us how things are going to be? But I think it's about time that we have a woman president.
And we're still struggling for equal pay. I want to use the word equal pay because I'm gonna say this thing, but I know some people won't understand. I don't consider myself a feminist. Women are naturally, we're supposed to be, right? But honestly, there's some reasons why some things are still not the way we hope it to be.
You think about women in general?
Yeah, women in general, that we are even still fighting to get paid the same amount of money at work and things like that. So that's why I said the thing about the feminist thing, because I'm sure some people watching, feminists have come again, that kind of thing. It's just more of, in some areas I think we can be equal, and in some areas I don't think we can be. And that's why I had to say that it's not that I'm putting women down or saying, women, let's be fighting for this, fighting for that. But there are just some areas that I just, or some subject areas that I just feel like I don't think we can be equal.
Women can never be equal.
Be careful of what you're doing.
You see that? One thing is, we said, truth always hurts. When I speak the truth, you feel yourself as a real ladies woman. It's gonna hurt you, but the truth is the truth that is going to set us all free. If you know that there's otherness in everywhere, then the Creator have his own otherness before he created the world. And then we all know that even science have proven that a man contains a woman and a man in him. And a woman contains herself. Therefore, a woman came from a man. So it is a man who gives birth to a woman. A woman is a child of a man. That is the otherness of God. That is why he said, I love a man as my own, and a man have to love a woman as what? So therefore, it is not a woman who is going to marry a man. It's going to be so painful for a woman to marry a man who doesn't love her. You go cry to death. It is a man who have the one he loves it. Woo! This is the real bone of my bone and the flesh of my flesh. I gotta take this for the rest of my life.
Sure, but we're not talking about love.
We're talking about they brought that into it. They brought that back. The reason why
to see the thing is, for me, I'm not feminist or whatever. But I think that it's really time to see the power of a woman, running a country.
Just like do something different.
Like America is not a small country, but for me, I think that mentality are not ready for that. It's about mentality. First of all, I think men don't want to leave us the scene because I think they're scared about something. Because women is definitely very powerful, for sure.
Yes,
and
we are.
We are not ready.
Okay,
the country are not ready for that, for sure. But we're still working on it, and one day. I mean, it's close.
It's here. It's not one day. It's here.
Like I said,
it's coming right now.
I think a lot of things gonna change.
Yes.
This big change.
The one thing is, if we have the power to control ourselves, we won't be going through what we are going through. Man believe that they got the power. Man don't have the power. Okay. I'm telling you.
Is that something we can agree?
Man don't have power.
It's man.
So
I know.
Yes, if we have the power, we would have changed what is going on in this existence. We would have done it.
Exactly.
So they decide how they want this, because everything we are enjoying. You see this beautiful light. They are behind the light. You see the TV, your cars and everything, all belongs to them. It's not for you. If they are ready to give you, they're going to give you. If they are not ready to give you, they're not going to give you. They control what is going on here. That is why in the politics, the leaders, they have, that's why they say Illuminati. It's not Illuminati. They call enlightenment. Illuminate is enlightenment. Because the enlightenment going to come to you. whether you like it or not. When they see your activities, your performance, they say that, oh, we can use this woman, we can use this guy to do what we want. And then they introduce themselves to you. You go see it. The message will come to you, whether you like it or not. It's coming to you. And people who can handle that message, they come to them. They try to escape from it. You can't escape. And because of that, at the end of the day, they're going to try to commit suicide because they are not ready for that. Just be flexible, accept what is coming, depend on that and do it. That's where your blessing is.
Sure. TJ?
And I just wanted to give some pointers that I think naturally men like to listen and take a lead from men, from another man.
Yeah.
Like, we know that when we see it, but really listen to that statement. Men follow men. They don't, it's not natural, or like you said, the order of nature and things like that.
Nature,
exactly. So that's one. And then two, whoever does want this position of presidency, I think the person has, they have to be well equipped, I believe, to lose a lot to be in that position. Whereas these men that have already been there, they have lost something, whether they're black president, white president, they've had their trials and tribulation. So I'm not talking about, oh, she's crying, she's being emotional. No, I'm talking about, like, even being married. How will it affect her marriage? How will it affect if she wants to have kids? Because a lot of these politicians, they get in very early. Your phone is ringing. A lot of politicians get in early. They start off as lawyers, lawmakers in the beginning, and so all those things, if she's ready to sacrifice, I think the person needs to keep it in, will have to keep it in mind that it's going to happen. I mean, look at Obama. He got old in our me all just looking at him, he had black hair before, and then he's great. I mean, he looks good, regardless, but you could tell that, okay, there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of stress, even though we know it's not like everything he says that goes the way he wants it, but he's representing a party, so all those components, those who are political extremists and know all those details, you probably know what we're talking about here, where there's a lot that comes with the job. So I think that's something to keep in mind in when we're being realistic about, okay, what does the job entail?
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you have a question for the king? I
have a simple question for my women around me.
Okay.
I'm saying that, like I said, it is a man who have to get a woman that they want into their life. Okay. And I know that even Adam was created to be in the garden before Eve came. And then we all know that man was created on the field to go do the plantation, and the woman was created for the floor Adam prepared for himself, as a helper. So do you think you're gonna accept the fact that you're gonna stay on the floor and the man got to be on the field, or you still struggling to be with the man for you all to go on the field?
Me, my thinking about this is like, I'm agree that women and men are different role,
different role,
and it's never gonna change. Like for me, it's my conception. The man is like he's here to protect me. Like I follow the man, I follow him, and I am in the back. I follow him. I have my own everything, but I follow the man. I decided to follow. But for me, there is no equality. I'm not looking for equality between me and my men, for example, or me or men and women.
Yes.
For me, there is no really equality, and this is not something we have to looking for, because we're losing at the beginning of this war. You already lost your this game. I think this is my thinking after everybody has his own.
Of course.
But really for me, like, we should follow our man. If we decided to have a man, you follow him and follow his step, and you are in the back to support him to do whatever we have to do. And we are all African here. I think this is the education we receive, like this education where your father is a king in the house and your mother is in the back to support him and to to follow everything, or to see how everything is happening in the background. This is exactly what I'm thinking, and I think this is the best way to think. But I think also that women supposed to have other responsibilities in life. Not stay at home and cooking whatever. This kind of is finished. This time is completely finished for me. Like I mean, this is just my own. Let TJ answer and Michelle, and after you guys.
Well, I was just gonna add to it like what Rose you said is very true. It's just for me. Sometimes it becomes difficult to follow a man when the man doesn't even know where he's heading. Like, because you don't expect me to follow you if one, you don't even have a direction, vision. Where are we going? Because I really believe the man is the leader of the house, the head of the house. So I'm willing to follow the man, but it'll be easy if we know where we're going. And I think even before you choose a man, then you yourself as a woman should actually watch and see, does this man who's supposed to be the leader of our house, the head of the house, have a vision, know where they're going, and then you know what? Then you can trust the person and lead. Because I believe as a woman, I'm a helpmeet. That's what we're supposed to be. We're like a help. It's like a partnership. But it's very, very hard to follow someone when you don't know where they're going, and also if you don't respect the person, then it will be very, very hard. Because like Rose, you said, I'm not trying to be equal with a man. There's a reason why I'm a woman. If I was supposed to be a man, I would have been a man. So that I don't even want to be a man. But then just learning like the role, what we as women are supposed to do. Because I really believe that even though we're like, we follow the man that we decide we choose, it's also important to know that as a woman, you're also an individual. And I think a lot of times we lose that. When you have that man that you're with and you follow and he's leading, you lose who you are as an individual. So for example, if that man is not there anymore for whatever reason, you don't even know who you are. Because now it's like you're lost in something like, and I feel like a lot with our culture, I love being an African. It's just sometimes I feel like the way we are raised and we are trained, it's everything like how you're gonna be the wife, the mother, take care of the home, but then
the pillar.
It's like exactly, and so it's like the pillar and the home, which is all good. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm just saying we also have to focus on, as a woman, you're an individual, and you are also like, you bring something to the table. But I've just, long story short, I don't want to be equal to my man, but I just want to make sure my man is leading us in the right direction, has a vision, and I can also be in the back, not questioning my man, but respecting and following the leader of my life and my home. And so that's what,
Did you know something?
No, I think you guys did it. Yeah, you guys. I mean, we're on the same page.
Yeah, but one thing, I mean, men, we know we are leaders, but not all the time. Like, okay, we dictate. Me. Anytime I have my woman, any suggestion I have or any decision I take, I put before her, hey, this is what we're about to do. And then you're going to be my back support, because every successful man, there's a beautiful, strong woman behind a successful man. Without that, it's hard for a man to be alone. And God didn't create us to be alone like that. You know what I'm saying? So when I explain, tell her, she also bring the suggestion. So, okay, it's good idea. But I think when you do it this way, it gonna help us. The moment you bring us, meaning you have to take it into consideration. So you compare, contrast to what you brought into the board, and see that if you got to cut half of what you said and bring her half or quarter of your thing and bring her quarter into it, that is going to be the perfect for the us. You know, so it's an idea for a man too, that we always don't have to take a concrete decision, but women are helpers. So a little bit that gonna brought him as a help, we got to take it into consideration.
And what you're saying is so true. I just wanted to add, because a lot of times there are also the men that say it's my way or highway. That man that's just like, this is what we're going to do, the decision. They don't even ask for your input. And so what you said is so important, because it's very painful when you're with someone and they never ask you, oh, what do you think? I'm thinking of doing this. Also, what do you think? But then they just come and say, this is what we are doing. And it feels like instead of being in a relationship, you're in a like dictatorship, because I'm telling this is what we're doing, and it's this or the highway.
You know reason why they say dictatorship? Because nowadays women got a big mouth a lot. Before a man can speak, one woman will run like 20.
Yes.
And when it happens like that, men highly tempered, you got a big mouth. You know what I'm saying? You don't always have to run over a man as a leader. When you do that, it's kind of like, what you trying to tell us or something. You know what I'm saying? But when two men are meet and then they're talking and one trying to run over the other one and see that he got more points, that is more beautiful and is gonna open the door, that is better because men are talking right there to make good things happen. You know what I'm saying?
Can I say this?
I
like that you. I like hearing other people's opinions, and I think this is something I would love to recommend to our African people, both male and female. I think it's important to know where you stand on some things. I think it's important to know what your esteem is. Who are you in the room with? Who are you talking to? I heard what you just said now about two men where they have good points and things like that. Fine, let's use that example. I've seen some men and women, because I'm going to use just human interaction together. You may be that type that you have 1 point, 2 point, how many points to make, and it just sounds like, it's like a winning or losing game. If your esteem is enough for you stand on what you stand on, you don't even have to say much. You just make your move, and that is that. It don't matter how many hundred of words that person has. And so that's why I'm saying I'm glad that you brought that up, because I think some of us have been brought up to think like that, where that's something we need to I don't want to use the word work on. I think it's something we need to we've made it so heavy that the person that has the most words, that means that's the smartest person in the room. No. I've met some educated so-called people that just sound very good on TV or whatever, wherever you see them, or even at parties, it's at parties, hangouts, and the person look good, smell nice, dropping all the big words, but they have no character, no integrity, nothing. Yes. So you can be educated, you can be well trained to be the part, to look the part, but who are you impacting? And when I mean impacting, they don't have to be Oprah, they don't have to be president of the United States, but where how do people feel when they leave you? Do they feel good, or do they feel like, wow?
What you think is very, very important, because today a lot of people work on themselves.
Yes.
And self-improvement, all those types of topics you can see on YouTube is completely crazy, all those videos about self-improvement. But I think that people watch those videos a lot, but I'm not sure they're taking actions.
They're not practicing it.
Between take information about something and actually to do
something about it.
And the thing is, we have to find a way to encourage people to start to work on themselves.
Yes.
Already.
Yes.
Because we all have something to fix for sure inside.
Yes.
Like we talk about self-esteem or and confidence, and we all have something to fix.
Yes.
I think if you don't look inside yourself, what you have to fix. Nothing's gonna change, and you're still around. I mean, like someone who don't have any goals, or who don't have any, empty, like your and really
the empty. The emptiest drum make the loudest noise. Honestly, look at Ratchet TV. I'm gonna call it Ratchet TV. The Love and Hip Hop.
I was thinking
we watch all those shows. I'm not saying we do, but we've seen at least clips of it. What's the height of those shows? They are throwing bottles. They are cussing at each other. Who is the person that we're usually on their side? Is the person that is that the calmest, or the one where has more self-control over themselves, where it's like, okay, I see that you want to fight now, but I'm going to back up because I don't want to fight you. And of course they are still talking. But you see that their body language is different than the person that don't God forgive me, you know what I'm saying, you don't have sense. You don't have sense. You are just you're just running your mouth. So be it a man, be it a woman who is doing that, which like you said, naturally women will tend to be like that. So maybe that is something that woman in that scenario, she needs to work on. But how is that communicated? Is he also shouting back at her? So it becomes a game of who is going to win.
Because you do.
See, one thing is, Rose was talking about we have to find a way. We have to find a way. But at this point in time, it's God's time. God has His own way. Just like the way how they are enforcing the laws of the world, America right now is the same way the ordinance of God is coming, and they are going to enforce it,
They have to
whether you like it or not.
It's what it is.
It's what it is. It's what it is.
That is
you
time
have
for
no choice.
something new.
So it's either to leave, choose to leave, or choose to go.
So
Okay.
So you have no choice.
That's true.
So we're discussing this for public to know that we have the Creator's time. That the ordinance of creature is coming. And whether you like it or not, we are going to enforce it like we are enforcing this one. That's how the word is. So
Let's
Question
quickly
for-
move.
second
Let's
question.
move to
Oh,